Tonight, parents are sounding off on plans to expand the redistricting effort in Dublin City Schools. The Board of Education has voted to include elementary schools now.
Kirsten Lindquist sat down with parents who say they don't want their kids to move.
Dublin City Schools says they're experiencing uneven growth, and that growth is starting in their elementary and middle schools, then feeding up to the high schools. Now the redistricting process is taking a look at remapping all three. Stephanie Wright has a high schooler, a middle schooler, and a first grader in Dublin City Schools. She lives in one of the Jerome Village neighborhoods expected to be impacted by the school district's redistricting plan.
My youngest just finished kindergarten, and I look at her friends and I'm like, okay, I know almost the majority of you are going to the other middle school.
She says if her kids move schools, it would more than double their drop-off and pickup time.
It makes it feel like no board member ever comes up here and drives this section.
Yes, motions pass 5-0.
On Monday, the Board of Education voted yes to include elementary schools in their redistricting process. They say several are currently at or near capacity.
These are kids that have been together since kindergarten, and to have them split is really difficult on, families. It's difficult on those friendships.
The district says by doing all levels of redistricting at the same time, it will improve feeder patterns by developing a map based on current enrollment, building capacities, and projected growth. But these parents argue, at what cost?
To say it's okay to cut them out from their community and not consider everyone isn't logical.
I asked Superintendent Dr. John Marchhausen for an interview. A district spokesperson emailed me saying they are holding on media requests until after maps have been released. The Board of Education is set to reveal those proposed maps for elementary, middle school, and high school Monday, June 29th. Those boundaries will take effect for the 27-28 school year. On your side in Dublin, I'm Kirsten Lindquist.
While we didn't hear from the superintendent today, he did tell us recently that there are things he would do differently with the redistricting process.
And that includes the timeline of how this all played out. Mike McCarthy breaking it all down tonight. Mike.
So Rodney and Jessica, the superintendent told me there were lots of things he would do differently with this process. First, though, we need to put this conversation into some context. I did speak one-on-one with Superintendent Dr. John Marchhausen at the end of May, so it was before this process expanded this week to include those elementary schools. Marchhausen admits, though, it has been a tough year. He also now says Dublin schools made this redistricting more difficult. He acknowledges the district divided the community when it originally drew maps first before getting input from families last fall. Now, he maintains the district's decision to then pause this process for several months felt like the only thing to do at the time. But he now questions how long that pause lasted and says it likely festered concerns, frustrations, and fears. After all of this, he knows families may not be on board with the results, even with the additional feedback from them.
I understand their deep concerns. And at the end of the day, they moved to the Dublin City School District. And they didn't move into a high school attendance zone. It's the Dublin City Schools. And what we ask them to hold us accountable for, and what our board is elected to do, is to make sure that every Dublin City School student gets the highest education that allows him or her to reach their fullest potential.
He also told me he is confident with time students will grow to love their schools. He also believes the district made the right call to use an outside consulting firm to create these updated maps. He says that'll remove the emotions that have defined so much of this process. Marchhausen says he will review those maps to make sure the firm followed the district's criteria before those maps are presented publicly at that board meeting at the end of this month. On your side, Mike McCarthy, ABC 6 News.